It's getting about that time. I took a 7 month break from the game, and now I'm back. And I want to build a new camp, but I still have the camps here from 7 months ago that I'm kind of bored with. I've maxed out the budget, and there's not much more I can do. I actually just recorded a whole video for the other camp that I currently have, but for some reason it only recorded the map of the game instead of what was actually on display. So I guess we're gonna take a look at and then scrap this one instead, which is fine. I wanted to get rid of both of them anyways. But I'm just gonna go over the general idea of the camp, some things I did that I liked, what I would have done differently if I rebuilt it. And it's not going to be too in detail or in depth. I'm going to try and make it quick so I can get to building my next one. One of the camps that I've made where I kind of took into account where the player spawns at, you've got a very clear road to walk up all the way. See this arrow? And then boom, here we are into the grander structure that you can't really see from below. I just think it's a fun entrance. I like it. I put down a little, welcome mat. And then we're here. So this was more of like just a general kind of settlement. I wanted this to look like people really striking out in the wasteland, striking out on their own. We've got multiple different buildings, kind of like a motel thing going on, but I'll get into that. This is just a warehouse on the end where I keep the fusion reactor. I was actually going to try and make this the entrance and have like the big warehouse stores because I thought it would look cool. But I ended up not really being able to do that in a way that looked any kind of good. So I settled for just having this simple entrance instead, which is still, I think, charming. I think it's a nice way to walk in. We've got the tent kind of covering up the middle area that goes between, I guess, the main like residence and then our shop here, which is maybe my favorite part, and we'll take a look at that in a second. In the middle, we got a sign telling us what we got on hand, crafting and storage this way, and then shop this way and everything it offers. So we'll take a look in here first. This whole thing is prefab, not a prop, but it was already here in this location before I built it. It was pretty hard decorating the inside because shit would constantly go to the roof instead of the interior of the building. But it's still a really nice kind of ramshackle shack to build around properly. And I love hunting for locations that already have something on the ground there to build with. So everything else here I built, but this kind of structure, aside from that up there, was already here. And while I'm talking about it, here's the location. It's very close to Mount Blair. Not super close to any merchants, but you do have the Rusty Pick right up here, and you have Nuka World right over here. So nothing next door, but it's also not very far away, and it's definitely not far away from a workshop, which is pretty convenient. But looking in here, my main goal with this place was that I just wanted all the crafting stuff down. I really wish it was easier to build in, because I would have decorated this place a lot more. But I'm happy with just being able to get these things in here and make it a functional kind of crafting bay. And it is also nice that you have some like natural chem spawns in here. And there's also this dead person here. There's one here and upstairs, which is annoying because Bethesda doesn't let you get rid of corpses. Even if you plonk down like your survival thing, it still doesn't give you an option to get rid of like piles of trash or corpses in the area, which kind of sucks that you can't just naturally despawn them. But we do what we can, and we lampshade it with the ZZZ. This person's not dead, they're just taking a nap. And look at this guy, he's not dead, he was just partying too hard. I'll take a little bite there before we continue. This little location I really enjoy, even if I didn't do like too much to it. I ended up having to put the armor workbench here because I couldn't make it fit downstairs. But, at least it's got good ventilation to the roof for the smoker here. Because if this was downstairs, it would just flood the upstairs with smoke and that would be annoying. So I guess it makes enough sense that it's up here. Basic bed, little safe here. You can unlock if you feel so inclined. Nice little bit of wall decoration. And then I try to make this like a little workstation. I typically keep that typewriter there that I just picked up, But if I'm deleting this whole place anyways, I might as well just get rid of it. And then we have the Raider Punk here, who is probably one of my favorite settler NPCs to put down, because I like having a little radio station, and his radiant quests aren't too difficult to do. So I'll put him down here next to the typewriter, and then we have a little working bay, little communications rig, and here he is now.
Moving in here too, or what?
I don't know what you mean by that. I already live here. That's what voice line is that? And then out here we have a little chill spot. These are more naturally spawning props, which is nice. I usually keep them here, but anyone can pick them up because they're like world spawns, and I might as well pick them up too. This couch here is also natural, I believe, but I did put down a little bug zapper because I think it's very easy to believe, like, yeah, this we do our work in here. We're gonna sit out here on a nice little balcony, you know, have a little smoke of some kind, and look over at that wonderful view of this incredibly dilapidated region with no color. So we have that little spot. I'm gonna save the shop because it's my favorite part, but I did employ a few ideas in here that I thought were fun. Through here, this is just like a bunch of random resources that I keep over here because I can't handle not having them in the base, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense for an apple tree to be back here in this region. I don't know, maybe this is like the only cultivatable patch of dirt, which is why the water purifier is here. But this truck is also a natural spawn, which is really convenient because it let us create this kind of walking path here. And then we have, for now, our mega motel. The first floor is vacant. The second room is for living, you can rent it, and then the third floor is for wash. And of course, first floor is vacant. We have our friend here to say hello, but really this is empty because this is slightly out of bounds, which you'll see upstairs too, but I literally can't put any props in here, so I just thought, you know, it's just vacant, you know? That's a good way to write things off. And then the living space is fairly simple. This is kind of maybe like a luxury room you can rent while you're here. We keep our terrarium. All the furniture is clean enough. We got a nice fan in here too. It's a comfy little place to be if you need reprieve. And then the third floor, which is wash. For our travelers coming in through here, we would offer this service to them, a fully functioning and kind of decked out place. You got a mirror, check yourself out, suitcase, put your shit in. Maybe change your clothes. You got a nice radio you can use while you're splish splash taking a shower. Then we have some nice mood lighting up here, and of course another fan. It's not full luxury, but you know, maybe it's the closest you're gonna get in this region. So you know, maybe from like a role-playing perspective, that's how we get our traffic, because we are fully decked out with amenities, as you'll see in our main boarding room over here. First of all, we have this nice little partition section here, which we can kind of walk up and climb up onto the roof if we're so inclined to sit up here, which I think is nice. I just like the way that this looks coming off of the trailer. It gives it almost a little bit of an L shape or corner formation, and I just think that's good. But we've got some free food on offer, a little bit of churny gurney there, and then stay 10 caps a night with dinner choices. Here's where we would offer food to people. And then back here, we have our kind of extended sleep area. You can pack your shit somewhere, maybe underneath your bed, and then just take one of these and sleep the night away in a relatively safe location. And then you wake up, you come out here to this tiny but well-equipped mess hall. You know, maybe take a little bit of Mirelurk and you're on your way. You know, it's all complimentary, it's part of the experience. You come here, 10 caps, you get you get one run of the shower, maybe like 15 minutes up there for conserving water, and then you'll get some free dinner for the night in the morning. So this is a fully kind of decked out little hostel area here, which was a new idea that I wanted to try that I still really like. It's something that I might come back to, but I just thought it was fun. And then there's nothing really over here except a convenient gate to go through and a nice little path to walk down. So maybe you've come all the way through here and you're going to Mount Blair. You want to take that workshop for a spin. You got a very easy and clear little back entrance there, the back gate. And then the last piece of work here, the last building, is our shop area, which I'm a big fan of. I think it's very comfortable looking. We have a whole lot of random shit on display. It's very clear that this is it's an oddity shop. And let's go ahead and turn this on, because I think it's a great ambiance. Yeah, just listen to that. It's perfect in here. And then the longer you're in here, the more this guy's going to beckon you to come over and buy something. We have a whole lot on display. A lot of random miscellaneous items. We got shelves full of absolute horse shit. Great for display, great for display. And back here, we only can get really the top row filled. And I had some other guns here too, which helped spread it out a little bit. But I guess I took them out to sell, maybe conserve some space. But from the back, it's fine. You can barely notice it, especially when you walk in here. Those shelves look full enough. But yeah, just a nice little space. I had something like this built in, I think, the last video that I showed off too. But I wanted to do it again, just because I think the Wildwood Den here is just a really good prefab to build your shop in. It's really easy to cut in half. A rug will fill like the majority of the space in the middle here, and then you can line the sides of it with things that you would have on display for sale of some kind. But I wanted to make it look cluttered. Not too cluttered. You have enough room to move, but you know, I wanted it to look like an oddity shop you'd find in the wasteland. Got our open market sign and everything. And that's pretty much it. It's not a complicated location. I didn't do anything too fancy. But this big piece here is also here naturally. I stuck a basketball hoop on it. But other than that, this whole thing is here with its radar dishes. And it does look pretty cool alongside this building here. I saw these two next to each other in the place that it was in and instantly knew that I wanted to build something here. So let's go free camera mode and just take a better look at this place from above. This serves no purpose. I just thought it looked cool up here. But if I built it now, I probably wouldn't have left that there, because it makes no sense for this kind of dock formation to be up here. And these buoys are worthless. It would have been cool if could have had like maybe a ladder coming up here so you have this roof area, but I don't think the game is ever going to be that deep when it comes to camp customization. We don't get to have our own ladders. Take a look at it from out here. It's got some nice elevated points. The mega mansion thing is probably like the best part about this place. I think it helps keep it very in line, very ramshackle. And with that next to the mobile home trailer, it kind of looks like they really go together, which I think is nice. And then otherwise, I think it's pretty well partitioned off. We have this generator building, our residential / crafting, our shop, and we have this whole structure right here. So not counting the fusion building, because there's not really much in there, we have like 3 main areas to visit if you count these two as being part of the same. And then you have a very kind of clear line of travel through this place, kind of like a horseshoe going through here. But yeah, usually I name my camps. This one did not have one. Maybe like untitled Ash Heap Pit Stop would be good. But it's time to get rid of all this and find somewhere new to build. Alright, and here is the other camp. I actually recorded the video for this place first, but then it, for some reason it didn't record the actual gameplay, it just recorded the map screen. So here is the other camp that I built maybe 4 to 7 months ago, somewhere between there. This one has, I think, a lot of good spots, but then the main idea kind of fell flat. I wanted this to be a mountainside kind of outpost, and I guess from the outside it doesn't look too bad. But I really just wanted something with a view. I wanted to make use of the the watchtower up there, because even though it's very much more downscaled than it should be, it's still one of my favorite props. I try not to use it as much now just because I've used it so much in the past, but I wanted to build something with that kind of idea. But everything you see is what I did so many months ago. I'm only recording this video again like the last camp so I can scrap the whole thing and build something new. It's about that time. I'm back in the game. I got Fallout first again. I got some more atoms. I gotta say goodbye to this place. And oh, we have a little visitor too. That's nice. He gets to check out the place before it goes bye-bye. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know he's the last other person that's gonna see this place before I poof it. Yeah, other than I think the like chicken coop over there and that damn windmill. That's a motherfucking windmill, and I forgot what they were called. Other than the windmill, this is all shit that I did a long time ago. Now, I really like the front here. I wanted this to be kind of like a community spot. And damn, he didn't even stick around. He checked my shit and pieced out immediately. But we have our way in here, okay? And I wanted kind of like a good little junk wall to divide this section from that section. Because this section is going to be like visiting. This section has all the crafting stuff localized within the mobile home alone. And before we get there, we have this nice little campfire. I tried to populate it, but obviously there's only so many things we can have in our settlements. So by populate it, we have these two guys. The vending machine robot, which is probably my easy top 3 Atom Shop purchases ever. This guy is awesome. And then I have my camp companion ally sitting over here to usually give some nice tunes around the campfire and make the place feel a little bit more lively. And then of course I have the Collectron kind of wandering about, but he usually just goes off in a direction and kind of abandons the camp. I think originally this place was called like Point Possum or something. I had like a whole name for it, but I can't even remember honestly. But here we got a little sign set up, tell you where to go. It says the market's this way, but I ended up not building the shop in there. I just put his ass outside. So the sign is a little bit misleading. But the first place we're going to look at, which is my favorite spot, is this little kind of hallway here coming into my crafting nook. Let me just get those. The mobile home trailer is also such a really good prop because you can do so much with it, and this is what I did in my other build, my other old build before I scrapped it too. So I tried to put a lot of things kind of localized within the mobile home area, and this one I turned it into my crafting station. I packed everything in here that I could, except for the power armor, which I managed to stick outside. And the punch card. I probably could have found a place for the punch card in here, but I didn't feel like doing any kind of merging or little tricks to get it sat in a corner somewhere, so I just stuck it outside, and I like the light that it gives off anyways. But there are some things I did in here. One, we got these icicle lights, which are blue, but then we come in here and all the lighting is orange. I think it helps make the interior feel warmer tones, and makes it more comfy to be in. It's definitely a lot more noticeable at night. But yeah, here we are. I tried to populate the walls, keep everything spatial. We have our rectangular animal portraits here, and then we have we have our square portraits, and then on the bottom are more rectangular signs. I wanted everything to look somewhat symmetrical. We have the light in front of the Vault Boy head, and we have our cooking stove right in front of the steamer here. I actually really like this whole place. This is the best part of the build. If I rebuilt it, I would have tried to connect it through here, but like I said, I wanted this place to be a little bit of a sprawling jungle gym, and I tried my best, but as we go in here, it's fairly sparse. It looks kind of all over the place and not in the way I wanted. There is some good parts. Like we have our bottom floor here, and then I managed this nice little step up to this location, which has our den tower, and we can come up here. I thought that was pretty nice. It does connect and flow somewhat well, and I tried to kind of divide the space a little bit down here. This was originally going to be like a kind of like a salon area, but I ended up deleting it because I wanted to replace it. And then I was like, man, I don't want to do all that. I'm just gonna build a new camp instead. But I had like a nice little barber thing set up, but yeah, whatever. And we have some race cars. It's pretty cool. I don't know. But there were some problems trying to get everything to snap and fit together. This whole section is just kind of nothing. We have this going up here because I wanted to build more roof pieces and kind of just connect it all, but Bethesda didn't let me put another roof here because of how it clipped into the mobile home, so that didn't really pan out, and now it's just a little bit awkward up here. The vision was there, but we were just not capable of seeing it. And then this is where the shop was originally going to be, as you saw in the other camp, assuming I put that part first. This is where the shop was in the other camp as well. But I ended up putting him outside, so I converted this into one. We have this idea that I've been cooking up for a little bit. It's supposed to kind of look like a wargaming table, you know? We have our minis set up, we have our robots versus aliens. The aliens come out of the spaceship here and they're trying to get to the house. The robots are guarding it. It was a fun idea. And then we have this, which is supposed to be like mini storage in a way. I could have expanded on this, but I ended up not doing too much with it. I think this would be a fun thing to come back to if I had like two tables set up next to each other, or just maybe a bigger one. But maybe here's like a beta version of an idea that I'll put in another future camp. And then in the back we have kind of like a, I don't know, some kind of surgery thing. The place didn't really pan out. I ended up liking the outside visage a lot more than I did the inside. I'm definitely more proud of the nice cozy campfire spot and the crafting nook. I could probably get away with deleting the rest of this entire place because it's kind of meaningless. But it does have a really nice view when you come over and play the xylophone, so I guess it's not all bad.
Boom, boom.